Hey everyone, Dan Finn with Synergy Technical with your tech tip of the day. Today's is about making sure that we're mindful and inclusive of everyone that's on our virtual conference calls. Whether it's a group of 5 or a group of 50, there's a few tips that I hope to impart on you to make sure that everyone has the opportunity for their voice to be heard. The first one might be more of a personal tip versus technology, but one thing that I try to do is at the top of every call, really make sure that I can kick it off, maybe with a personal story, inject some humor into the call. Maybe it's self-deprecating humor. That's probably one of my specialties. But give the opportunity for everyone on the call to really feel like this is going to be an inclusive environment. There's not going to be any stupid questions. They can feel free to come off of mute and let their voice be heard. There's some other things around these conference calls too, especially when you're presenting, you're sharing a PowerPoint deck or doing a demonstration. Really make sure to take a break. I would say about every 10 minutes to ask for questions and to leave some silence so people have that opportunity to comment or provide some feedback. One of the challenges is knowing how long 10 minutes really is. And one of the tips that I would suggest is anytime you feel like you're rambling as a presenter, or maybe you feel like you need a sip of water, you probably do. So just go ahead and open up the lines. And I'll often say, I'm going to leave 10 seconds of silence here for anyone that does have some questions or comments. What that does is, as a attendee, we've all been in these shoes. As an attendee, you can work through, do I really want to put my name behind this question? Maybe I'm not quite sure if it fits the subject matter quite well. I have to go find the mute button and come off of mute. And then if someone else started talking, maybe I got to wait and go through that whole process again, right? And for some people, that even gets their heart racing to speak in front of a large group, virtually or physically. So give them the opportunity, leave about 10 seconds, and that really gives you the opportunity to take that sip of water, reset where you are in the subject matter, and then get back into the presentation if no one had any questions. The other part is the technology that you're using. So make sure everyone's familiar with where the chat function is. If there's a Q&A box, make sure you point it out. Teams is even releasing a raise hand feature. So maybe someone does have background noise. The kids are being homeschooled, the dog's running around on some hardwood floors, maybe the dryer's running, and they're not going to come off of mute. Well, make sure that they know that they can leave their question in the comments or the Q&A. And then as the moderator or the host of the session, obviously be checking that. When you take your 10-minute breaks, or at the end, most people are pretty good at opening it up for questions, but make sure you check the chat box too, because there could be some feedback in there that's pivotal to your conversation. So I hope these tips are helpful in making sure that you're mindful and inclusive of everyone that's on the call and making sure everyone's voice is heard. Have a great week.